Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For this video, I'm going to be doing a little do-it-yourself project here at the house. It's kind of one of those completely unnecessary projects, but for some reason I got the idea in my head and I can't let it go. But let me tell you about it. Let's walk over here. We're here in dry Las Vegas getting rained on. We have this yard and it gets kind of dark at night. And then we can't really play out here because it's too dark or whatever. Even though we have perimeter lights and stuff like that, it's just not enough to use it if we wanted to be kicking the ball around or something. So I'm like, you know what? What if we put one of those parking lot lights out here to shine down on the yard to make it usable after it gets dark? And so I thought, way at the very top of the house, at the top of that peak, I could put one of those lights and then wire in a switch right here to be able to turn it on and off. That way, hey, if it gets dark, we just come over here and just flick it on, and then boom, you got your light. Okay, so to expand further on my ability to actually do this thing, I'm definitely not an electrician, nor do I have experience doing electrical. I kind of know the very, very basics of electrical and have tinkered a little bit. Otherwise, this is just something that I think is doable in my head, and I actually find it a lot of fun to try to figure it out. As I was thinking through this thing, I thought, well, I need a light first, and I got this thing on Amazon for a couple $100. It's a parking lot light, and this thing is something like 16,000 lumens. It's LED. You want me to try to turn it on? When you get this out there 25 feet in the air, I don't know if it's going to be flooding the yard with light, but I think it'll give us enough to where we could finish a soccer game or something. The other dilemma was how to get wiring down both of those, through the wall, all the way down both floors, and then to a switch on the wall on the outside. And luckily, I took pictures of this house as it was being built. So I was able to look through those pictures and find a nice clean area where I could drill down through and then send some wire down and tap into some power in our bathroom, which would be right underneath where I want to put that switch on the outside. So everything's kind of set up decently well for me to be able to do this without running into plumbing or having to tear out a bunch of walls or drywall or whatever. The real challenge is going to be crawling up into the attic and drilling down through not only the top plate, but two more plates that are in between the second and first floor. And I've got to do that from the attic to avoid cutting holes. So you might laugh at this, which is fine, but I bought a bunch of extensions. This is like 10 feet worth of extensions. And then here's the drill bit I'm going to use. And then I got this thing right here. It takes a 1/2-inch drive and it lets you put in a normal hex bit into it. So I have to go to the attic. I'm going to start by drilling with this, and then I'll put an extension on, lower it down into the hole, put another extension, lower it into the hole, and keep putting extensions on until I get to the second plate, which is on basically the floor of the second floor. Get through that, put another extension, and then it'll be the top plate, which is the ceiling of the first floor, and that'll hopefully get me access to the power in the downstairs bathroom. And I know this sounds funny and crazy. Feel free to make fun of me all you want, but I'm gonna just MacGyver this thing.
Wow, that is pride.
Not even close. All right, folks, welcome back to Mic'd Up. This is attempt number 3 to make some progress on this darn light. I had it going a lot easier in my head. The first snag was we didn't get to the wire like we hoped in the bathroom, which I'm going to find a different source of power later, probably in the attic. The second one was that ladder we borrowed wasn't high enough to mount the light, so I brought the ladder up on the balcony, and I'm going to get on the roof and try to mount it laying down on the roof and just lean over the edge and put it in that way. Crystal's terrified, which I guess is not too unreasonable. As soon as I get up there, I'm gonna like basically go to my spot and lay down, and then I'll be working from the prone position. But step one is to get all this stuff up there, and then I'm gonna drill a hole, put a couple lags in, a couple of screws. Should be quick and easy. A crumb just went in my nose. On to the next part of this. I got to go up into the crawl or the attic through our closet and make my way over to that wall where we mounted the light and drill a hole down 3 plates or 2x4s laid flat. I'm going to go up there, drill down, send the Romex down, and that'll let me wire this thing up to where we can just switch it on and off from a switch on the outside of the house. So that's where we're going. Made it to the spot I wanted to. Sorry about the light. Gonna have to just drill something and see where we end up. Well, I got the first hole drilled. Took me 3 tries to find the spot that pokes through the channel that I need. But I realized I forgot one of the adapters I need to make this crazy long extension. Back is killing me. I've been dangling on these rafters. I can't feel my knees anymore. I've been breathing all this insulation dust. So anyway, this is not nearly as fun as I thought it would be. Okay, it's been a week or 2 since I've done anything with this project. Felt kind of defeated, then we got busy, but I went and got a different drill bit, which I think will allow for a more buttery smooth. It probably won't work, but we're gonna go try it. Crystal's trying to come up here with me this time to film. I don't know if she'll make it.
Okay. Woo! It's a good thing we've been working out.
Okay, of course, we get up here into our spot and I forgot something. I need one of these, but opposite. So Crystal's gonna go back down and get it, and I'm gonna stare at that hole.
Be back in an hour. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that this is gonna work?
5. Uh-oh. Well, even though I taped it, we lost a connection, which means I have to cut drywall. Listen. I ran into some kind of metal with this one. The first hole I started to drill, I could feel it was a nail because it was kind of bouncing off of it. I went to do a hole next to it and it's hitting what seems like a metal plate. It's only the outside of the bit that's hitting something, so I don't know what's up. I'm gonna try this skinnier bit on the first hole to see if I can not hit the nail. Before I start running wire, I want to drill the hole out here for the switch so that when I feed the wire through, hopefully I can see it, grab it, something. Whoa. Did you get some?
Got some in my eye.
The challenge for this one is going to be finding the second hole that I drilled down there, because there's a bunch of insulation in the way and it's one of those, I think it was a 3/4 inch hole, so it's a small hole that I can't see with a bunch of stuff in the way. with this finicky thing.
One eternity later.
We were trying to fish the wire through and just couldn't see it. It sounded like it was maybe in the channel next to it. The only thing I could think is that I was just a little bit off and punched on one side of the stud rather than the other. So I'm going to drill another hole, hopefully on the right side of the stud, and see where that gets us. We got wires run. 10 times harder than I thought it would be, of course. Final thoughts, I wish the project would have gone better. In my mind, I was like, a couple holes, fish the wire through, bing, bang, boom. No. One nightmare after another. I think it's pretty cool. I'm really excited to see what kind of light we get out here at night. That was the whole idea, was if we're out here, the sun's gone down, we're like, oh man, we're almost done with this game. It'd be so cool to just walk over there and flip a switch and boom, you got some light. And I wanted to avoid any kind of wiring on the outside of the house. So I feel good about it. I probably won't be doing anything like this again for a while. Thanks for following along on this adventure. Feel free to make fun of me. This was a hack job, but I don't care. Got the job done. Stay tuned for more shenanigans.